The entrance door of a residence constructed in 230 thick brick wall is to be provided with a teak wood glazed and paneled shutter. Opening size of the door is 1200 by 2100. Draw plan, elevation and section and give details. So this is the question. Now let us start drawing this door. So first let us see how the door is going to look in plan. Now if you look at the plan of the door, you will see that the question has asked us to plan a door of 1200 width. So as you can see here, the door has got a width of 1200. This width of the door is from the unfinished surface of the wall to the unfinished surface of the wall. What it means is that the thickness of the plaster, as you are seeing here, and the thickness of the plaster you are seeing here is not included in the 1200 dimension which we see here. So the door is of a width of 1200. As has been given earlier, it is an entrance door and it has a glazing and it also has a panel. So you will see that if you zoom into this particular portion, you will see that the door will consist of a frame. You can see the frame here. This teak wood frame is of a size of 75 by 150. So this dimension is 75 and this dimension is 150. You will see the details of the frame when you see the profile of the frame. So as you can see, there are two notches in the frame, one here and one here. The dimensions of these notches are 12 mm by 12 mm. These notches are called as the plaster notches. As you can see, the plaster to the wall is going inside these plaster notches. This ensures that there is no gap seen between the frame and the plastered surface due to expansion and contraction of the frame. Then you will see that there is a rivet here. This rivet has got a width equal to 12 mm and it has got the other dimension equal to the thickness of the door shutter. So the thickness of the door shutter which we see here is 40 mm in this case. This can vary as per the dimension of the teak wood that is available to you. So as you can see here, the teak wood door here consists of a teak wood style of 100 by 40 mm. So this is 40 mm. So this particular notch which we make in the frame, this particular notch here, this is called as a rivet. On the other side of the frame, you will see that a chamfered edge has been given. This is purely for aesthetic purpose. So this is how the profile of the frame is going to look like. If you see on this side of the door frame, you will see a dotted line which indicates the holdfast. The frame is fixed into the wall with the help of such type of holdfasts which are made out of mild steel. We'll learn more about these holdfasts when we learn the details of the door. But the function of these holdfasts is to hold the frame into the wall and prevent the bending of the post. Now this particular part of the frame, which is the vertical part of the frame, is called as a post. So as you can see here, we call this as teak wood frame 75 by 150, and because it is a vertical part, we call it as a post. The similar type of post will be there on the other side of the door frame. Now the part which is there in between the two posts is going to be called as the shutter. So if you look at this particular shutter, you will see that it consists of two members, one on this side and one on the other side. These two members, these are called as the stiles. So if you look at this particular member, the width of this particular member is 100 mm. So you will see that this is a teakwood style 100 by 40. A similar teakwood style of 100 by 40 would be located here. Now in between this, you will see a vertical member which is called as a mullion. Now because this shutter is quite wide, meaning that this door itself is quite wide, about 1200 wide, we have given an additional member here which we call as a mullion to divide this bigger span of the door into two parts. So the mullion could be there or could not be there depending upon the width of the door. As you will see here, there are two. This is a glass pane or a piece of glass which has been fixed into the two parts here, that is a stile on this part on this side and the mullion on this side, and this glass has been fixed with the help of a 12 by 12 member here, as you can see here, and this member is called as the teakwood beading. So this is fixed by the help of teakwood beading, which is 12 by 12 mm. The glass which we are using here is a 5 mm thick clear float glass. On the other side here, what you are going to see is a hinge. So this is a standard butt hinge which we are using for the door. Because of the use of this hinge, the door can now swing on this side. So this is the inside of the room and the door is opening inside the room. Now this is how the plan is going to look. Now if you look at the plan, we have shown a section line which is the section line AA. So let us try to see how the door is going to be seen in section. So let us study the section of this door. As you can see here, the section of the door is seen. Now you are already aware that whenever we make an opening in a brick wall, we have to provide something at the top to support the bricks above. That member is called as a lintel. So similarly, here you can see that the RCC lintel has been added here, and above the lintel you will see that the remaining brickwork will come. The upper part of the frame, which we can see here, is similar to the vertical part in profile. Only this is horizontal and therefore this is called as the head. So here we will see that this is called as the head part of the teakwood frame. Again, the size is the same, 150 by 75. The profile is the same as that of the post in the sense that we have got these two plaster notches and the rebate here. The rebate consists of 12 mm dimension in this direction, and this will be depending upon the thickness of the door shutter, which in this case is 40 mm. As you can see, the chamfer has been again repeated here, and the same thing can be seen in elevation. So the vertical posts now are seen in elevation here. Now the frame, if you see the door shutter in section, you will see that it consists of a member at the top, which you can see here, which is called as a top rail, a member in the center, which is called as the middle rail or lock rail, and a member at the bottom, which is called as the bottom rail. So let us see how this top rail is going to look like. The top rail is going to be normally of a size of 40 mm by 150 mm. So the depth of this is going to be 150 mm. The middle rail is normally slightly bigger in size and it consists of a member which is 40 mm by 200 mm. So this is 200 mm, this is 40 mm. The bottom rail again is of the same size as the top rail, which consists of a member of 40 by 150. So this is called as the bottom rail. As you can see, the door frame, or the door shutter rather, is slightly you can say away from the finished floor level. That is about 10 mm gap is kept between this to see that the door swings properly and it does not touch the floor. Now, as we earlier mentioned, this door shutter consists of partially glazed and partially panel door. So you will see that below the middle rail there is a teak wood panel. This teak wood panel consists of a wooden plank which is 18 mm thick, and this plank is now fixed into the middle rail like this and into the bottom rail like this. It has also been given a chamfer, as you can see here, which is an inclined surface for aesthetic purpose. Similarly, you will see the chamfer here, here and here. Again, this is for aesthetic purpose. So if you look at the elevation, you will see that this chamfer is going to be seen like this all around, and therefore this panel will look much more pleasing aesthetically. Now let us look at the glass. The upper part of the shutter is going to have the glass. So as you can see here, the 5 mm clear float glass is seen here, and you will also see that the glass is now fixed again with the help of the teak wood beading, which is going to be 12 mm by 12 mm. This teak wood beading is nailed into the top rail, and the purpose of having this beading is that if at any time you want to replace the glass because it is broken, then the beading can be removed and the glass can be replaced. Let us look at the elevation now. In elevation, you will see that the top member, that is the top part of the frame, that is the head, is projecting out on both sides, and this projection is about 100 mm on both the sides, and this projection is called as the horn. The purpose of the horn is again to fix the frame into the wall. You can see here the top rail, the mullion, the middle rail, the bottom rail, the panels and the glass. So whatever we saw earlier, we can see here in elevation. You can also see the vertical member of the frame, which we call as the post. So you will see a post on this side and a post on the other side. You will also see that the two vertical members here, which constitute the vertical members of the shutter, this is the stile, this is the other stile, this is the top rail, middle rail, bottom rail and mullion. So this is how the door shutter has been formed. Now if you look closely here, you will see that there are some dotted lines shown here. These dotted lines indicate a tenon and mortise joint. So this is called as a single tenon and mortise joint, and in this case here you will see that it is a double tenon and mortise joint. So depending upon the size of the members, you can have either a single or double tenon mortise joint. The tenon mortise joint is also provided here at the junction between the post and the head. So you will see that at the 2 points here and here, you will be having a tenon mortise joint. So this is how you are going to draw the door. Now there are one or two things which you should remember. First thing that you should remember is whenever you are asked to draw a door of size 1200 by 2100, it indicates the clear distance between the wall, which is an unfinished distance. So it does not include the thickness of the plaster. In the same way, when you are given 2100 as the height, it is the height from the floor level here to the bottom of the lintel, which does not include the plaster. So I hope this part of the question is clear to you, and you can make a drawing of a door which is partly paneled, partly glazed entrance door. Thank you.